Alright, so this is a video number 2 regarding for the kinetic typography, right? So here's the file. For this project, typically you need these specific panels. Like I said before, your effects controls, effects and presets. This is your composition, right? Where you preview, where you see everything going on. This is your alignment. You definitely need this. This is your character. You need that. Your paragraph. Yeah, you kind of sort of need this. This is your properties, which I'll talk about. Yeah. Again, this is set up with the standard workspace, which is here, right here, which is also here, right? If you do not have any of these, right, some of these, for whatever the hell reason, let's say I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close, right click, like I hover over here, right click, I close it, right? And I'm missing some of these. Well, let's say I'm missing this one. Let's just pretend, right? So how do I get these, right? I just have to explain these because of what if scenarios. It just happened. You go to window. Alright, character, right? I need a character. So here's character. And you can, customize it, right? So I select it. I can yank it, grab it. I can yank it. See what's happening now? Looks kind of jarring. But basically, wherever this purple bar that you see here, right, that's where it's gonna dump it. So for example, if I grab it, I dump it here, see? Or I can again left click onto it, grab it, and I can say dump it down here. Or I could right click on it, right? Again, I can right click on it, undock panel, pop, see? And then I can say grab. See, you can't grab it like this and try to dock it, right? You'd assume it would be like that because it makes sense, but it's not, right? After Effects can be kind of stupid sometimes, so you gotta literally hover over here, right? This part right here, right? And then it starts to activate. Again, I repeat, right? You do not grab it like this, even though it would make sense to. You grab it from here, left click, right, and then now you can start chucking it wherever the hell you want. See it right here, purple area, boom. I can left click in here, grab it. I'm gonna chuck it maybe I don't know, right here, or maybe even right here. Dump it. So that's how you customize it. I have to show that just in case. And then effects and presets. Click it, and it puts it right here, which I'm fine with. I like that. Windows, and then come on, what is it? Effects controls. Click it, and there you have it. Back to where it was before, I believe, right? Right. Character, paragraph, alignment. Alright, I think that's everything, right, that I need. Everything else I don't need. It's just gonna cause more claustrophobia and confusion. Yeah, that's all I need. Alright, so that boring stuff out of the way. How many minutes? That's 4 minutes already. Okay, so I'm gonna explain more and more as we go along, right? Right now we have nothing going on, right? Down here, we're set. This is all zeros, right? If you do not have it like this, let's say you forgot or whatever, you hold on the control key and you click it, left click it. Now it's set to hours, seconds, minutes, and seconds. Again, if I hold on control and I left click in here, it switches back to frames. You want it only in frames. I have up to 74 frames. See, this is the ticker. See, and it shows here frame 31. Here, frame 0, right? Here is our new composition, right? Slide in and slide out exercise, right? This is it. You see how it just changed, right? If I click on this name right here, right, it'll do this and that. This is it. This, you could have multiple compositions. Like I said before, compositions are like if you're, say, analogy or whatever is like painting. Your composition is like your canvas. So right now, this is equivalent to having 2 canvases, right? Yeah. So if I click on this one, slide in / out original. If I double click it, click. See what just happened? It may look kind of confusing, but in this timeline, right, I have here my empty canvas, right, empty composition. This tab, right, is the my demo file, right? And in my demo file, you also will notice I have more frames, all the way up to 143, right? And see this? I'm gonna pull this back, and I only have it playing up to here. I'll talk about more and more about that later. So some canvases I have it, more frames. This canvas here, the one that you'll be working on, the one we had set, is only 74 frames, right? So this versus that, right? So there's, flexibility. Like I said, you could have multiple canvases, or should I say composition. All right, so that's 7 minutes. First thing we're gonna do, I'm going to make a text layer. So there's 2 ways. I could either, in here, right, these are my tools, I can either click here, right, that's your tool, right, hotkey is Control T, right, or you click it. I can type in here. See, this annoys the hell out of me. Get out of my way. I click there and you have it like that. Your default font is Times New Roman, right here, your character, right? You click on that, and I have a whole collection of fonts, right? I have a separate Word document where I talk about how to install Adobe fonts, right? Which for my class you'll need to have a library of fonts. Anyway, so I clicked in here. One of the first things I want to mention is that this is live now, right? And after you write things out, you need to get out of this tool because it will screw with you. Anyway, so I'm in here, right? You see that red cursor, you see this over here is empty. Now you see a color red bar, right? This is equivalent to like your say like your film strip, right? This is equivalent to that. However long this is basically the contents of your film strip, you could say, kind of, sort of. And not only that, but I should also talk about this right here. This right here, right? This is how much you can magnify to zoom in, right? I'm scrolling with my mouse cursor, right? You see this? 25%. Scroll up, 50%. Right? Typically, let's see, you just keep it to fit up to 100%. So snug. Right? This here, basically the quality, right? Because you're probably wondering. I recommend do not screw around with this stuff here. Just leave it alone, right? I'll talk about this later. Anyway, let's type something out. It's almost 10 minutes, so I'm gonna type out slide in. Okay, slide in. That's all I'm gonna do. I typed out slide in. See, as soon as I did that, right? If I try to hit enter, I'm gonna introduce you to one of the first quirks with using the text layer, right? If I hit enter, you think, okay, maybe that'll help me to get out of it, but it doesn't. If you hit enter, right, not the number pad enter, but just enter, it'll do this, right? It'll skip a line, right? I don't want that. So in order to just get out of this, typically what I do, right, see, is I just click down here, and you see how the red cursor goes away. But right, you see my mouse cursor still looks like this, right? This is when I just press V as in Victor, and watch what happens, right? You see this part, see it's still alive, right? Even though I clicked out here, text tool is still alive, right? If I press V as in Victor, now we're safely out of it. This is the selection tool. By default, whenever you're done using any of these tools, you just want to press V as in Victor to get out of it and to go back to your selection tool, right? But typically with the text layer, right, text tool, you don't just press V as in Victor, because if you do, right, you end up just typing the letter V, which after hours and hours of working, it'll just piss you off, right? That's why I'm mentioning it. You just click out here, then you can press V as in Victor because your text tool is still alive, like that. That's how I just work around it, because when you're first learning, it will irk the hell out of you. Anyway, I have it like this, but it's too small. I want it centered, so I select the layer, right? You see how I'm gonna zoom in. This is what it looks like. Kind of quirky, got some weird stuff going on, these dots, right? And this guy right here, I'm gonna talk about that. Right now I'm zoomed in at 200%. I'm just set it back to, say, I don't know, 50. So here it is. Next thing I want to do is introduce you to the line, right? If you don't see it, it's window, align, right? So I have it selected, slide in, and I'm gonna, first of all, I want to make it bigger, right? See this part right here, character, this right here, set the font size. Next thing I want to show you is how to use a slider. See, if I hover over here, see it looks normal. As soon as I hover over it, see how it turns into a finger, index finger, and a little left and right arrow. You hold on Control, hold the Control key, and then you left mouse click while you hold the Control key. So you hold the Control, you hover over the number, and you also click on the left mouse click with your index finger, and you slide it left or right, and you have fine-tune control. You let go of the left mouse click, but you still hold the Control with your pinky, and you just drag, let go and drag, let go and drag and let go. That's how you can slide it, right? Holding the Control. Trust me, you're gonna want to know this and make a habit of doing this because it's important. And yeah, so that's how you set that up. Okay, and I kind of don't like this font, so last thing I want to show, well, first of all, not last thing, but I want to click here, center text. There's a reason why. And you see how it chucked it over, right? Again, going back to the line tool, make sure it's set to composition. You just never know. You hit align horizontally, pop. There you go. And then from there, under character, I'm gonna click it once, right? And then I'm gonna use the up and down arrow, so I can kind of, well, first of all, I'm here, so I'm gonna close this drop down, and then I'm gonna click in here, click once, and then, why isn't, only now it's not working. Fine, I'm gonna scroll up, I'm gonna click on the first one, right? It changed. Then, right, it's being stubborn with me, so I just, you know, went up and clicked on the first one right here. I'm gonna click again, one time in here, and I'm gonna use my down arrow. Now it's working. So I can, you know, choose one of these, right? You choose something. Ooh, I like that. Kind of like that. Right? But it doesn't give me any options, so I'm going to choose something else. Click it once and use the down arrow. The one that I used was, which one? Articulate CF. Right, I like this. If you don't have it, chances are you gotta go on Adobe Fonts and download it and use it. I like it because it gives me a lot of options. I think I chose, one second. Alright, I have to pause the video for a bit. I chose extra light. Let me select the text layer. Right, in here, extra light oblique spot. So it kind of made it slanted, blah blah blah. And I had it like, what I had it for again? Let me just pause the video for a bit. Alright, so I had it where font size was like, what, 215. Hit enter. And then the other thing I did was, I also want to introduce to you guys is this thing, small caps. See? I like it, it's kind of slick. And then I'm gonna hit align horizontally, right? So I'll be using this a lot too. And that's all I did. So again, I went over this. I use Articulate CF. If you don't have it, I highly recommend downloading a crap ton of fonts from Adobe Fonts, right? My students will have complete access to it, so make use of it. Get used to you know, seeing the smaller nuances with font styles and stuff, right? So I chose that, and that's it for that. I'm gonna end the video now. I know it's a bit long. I don't care, because this is an intro class and I have to talk about these things, right? Get you guys accustomed to it. Alright, that's it. Bye.